With your CIGTV News Update, I'm Jay Earhart in for Donna Bush. In our top story, the Ivan 10 Symposium wrapped up today at the Westin Hotel. The well-attended discussions brought together local and regional panelists and presenters to share advances since Hurricane Ivan affected the Caribbean 10 years ago. Topics ranged from forecasting to disaster risk management, economic impact, and business continuity. There was also strong emphasis on youth as the symposium began with a robotics demonstration by high school students from Cayman Prep. Other high schools joined in a session on youth preparedness. The Premier, the Honorable Adler McLaughlin, and Deputy Governor, the Honorable Franz Manderson, attended the opening ceremony on Wednesday afternoon. Hurricane Ivan passed through the Cayman Islands from the 11th to the 13th of September 2004. While many speakers agree that disaster response capacity has evolved over the past 10 years, they also point to a number of areas that might bear further improvement. These include a purpose-built facility for the National Weather Service, increased emphasis on individual and national self-reliance, the creation of a disaster fund, and the appointment of a dedicated recovery manager. The former DCFS Director, Deanna Lucloy, also called for more Caymanians to apply for shelter warden training. Radio Cayman and the Cayman Islands Government Television will both showcase memories of Hurricane Ivan tonight. Radio Cayman will air its program In the Eye of the Storm tonight and tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The show features interviews with more than a dozen public and private sector officials, as well as community representatives. Meanwhile, at 8 o'clock tonight, CIGTV will look back at the destruction and post-Ivan reemergence of Grand Cayman. The story focused on how the storm affected the Cayman Islands government, in particular, civil servants on the front line. It also compares crisis preparedness in 2004 and 2014. Then on Saturday the 13th at 3:30, the former Director of Broadcasting, Loxley Banks, will host a live call-in show commemorating Ivan. Guests include the former head and deputy head of the National Hurricane Committee, Kirkland Nixon, and Donovan Ebanks, among others. GIS and Radio Cayman contributed significantly to government's communications efforts before, during, and after Ivan. GIS was responsible for distributing information to the media from the National Hurricane Committee from that point which a hurricane alert was declared through the end of the recovery process. Radio Cayman, meanwhile, broadcast into the height of the storm. After the hurricane passed, staff worked from the first at the Emergency Communications Center at the fire station. They returned to Radio Cayman after electricity was restored. The National Gallery yesterday hosted Sharing Stories with Courtney Platt as part of its Ivan Remembered exhibition. A featured photographer, Mr. Platt also published the book Aftermath. It's a photography depicting the impact of the storm, and then Sharing Stories featured Mr. Platt narrating a slideshow of his work. A crowd of about 40 people attended the event, including visiting presenters from the Ivan 10 Symposium. The Ivan Remembered exhibition continues at the National Gallery through September 27th. The gallery is also hosting a free drop-in family event on Saturday from 9 till 3 based on the current show. Well, we wrap up tonight with a reminder that the second public meeting on the changing of the Sunday trading law takes place tonight at the Georgetown Town Hall. You should come out and have your say. As always, if you missed today's episode, you can get all the details on our Facebook and YouTube pages. And of course, don't forget to tune into Radio Cayman for the Record and Talk Today shows. I'm Jay Earhart. Good night, and thanks for watching.